Box like that, but with a Holyfield chin. There ain't a situation that I can't win. Only hot shit coming out my pen. Niggas like that nerd rap, I noticed the trend. Simping on records, man, that ain't hood. But when I point it out, man, that ain't.
Alright, let's get into this. Austin Trout versus Miguel Cotto. This is just a little recap for the fight that took place on Saturday at the Madison Square Garden on Showtime. If you're aware, you know I picked Austin Trout to lose. I thought Cotto would win a clear but competitive, semi-close type of fight decision, and the fight went the other direction. You know, Trout came out and did his thing. He was aggressive, he boxed smoothly, he never let Cotto get into his rhythm too much. The official scores were really kind of wide. I thought Cotto snagged at least 4 rounds, maybe 3 or 4 clear rounds. You know, any more than that is giving Cotto too much benefit of the doubt. The reason why I picked against Trout was due to his last performance and just the venue for this fight. I didn't think he would do enough, or if the fight was too close, I didn't think he would get the decision. If this fight was held in like Las Vegas or California, I probably would have went for Trout. You know, because he did have the physical dimensions and the skills. This was a tough fight for Cotto, you know, don't get me wrong. But I didn't think Trout was ready for it, but I'm glad he proved me wrong. It was a great performance, just a solid, good fight. He really busted up Cotto a lot in this fight. You know, you see the uppercut, you see Cotto's face was just looking a mess afterwards. I think Trout put the beats on Cotto a little more than Floyd did, and the reason why, because Cotto, he stayed aggressive throughout the fight with Floyd, and the rounds that he did win against Floyd were more clear. The rounds Cotto won against Trout, they were really almost could go the other way type of rounds. It was close rounds where he just probably took it at the end, or he had a good left hook and, you know, he just took over that round, you know, but just close. So, and if you notice too, towards the end of the fight, you know, Trout had Cotto doing that backpedaling and he was looking discouraged. You didn't really see that in the Mayweather fight. So, you know, you gotta give Trout his props. And if you look at Cotto's face right there, you know, it just kind of reminds me of, you know, those back in the day with the old Street Fighter games when you lose or you beat somebody up and it's like that 10, 9, 8, 7 continue screen. You know, this is what Cotto looks like right now. He's a great fighter, a Hall of Famer. I think he should hang it up by now. It just, I don't really see him beating any type of top level contender right now. I think he'd even struggle with Cornelius Bundridge right now. I don't want to see him with the Canelo fight. It'll look like a real serious duck move if Canelo really forces this fight to happen. Not really interested at all in seeing it. I think Canelo should go after Trout. If he doesn't, I would love to see him fight Floyd, Canelo and Floyd. That's a real good fight. Other than that, I think Cotto had his day in the sun. You know, it's time for these new kids to get it in. Like to see Trout get some bigger fights in the future. Hopefully Canelo will step up and fight the dude. I don't like it when these guys be getting too choosy with their opponents, because these guys, they still make, Trout still has mistakes and everything. So hopefully Canelo gets that fight with him and we could get some unification in the 154-pound division. Now, this fight here with Guzman and that Russian kid, I believe Khabib, I can't pronounce his last name. I'm gonna just be honest, I'm gonna just call him the Russian kid, no disrespect. But I actually attended this fight live. It was down in Sunrise, you know, just 10 minutes away from the house. My thoughts on this fight: Guzman came out there real aggressive that first round. He had DMX walk him to the ring, real hype, good atmosphere. He tried to really knock this kid out in the first round. It's like he went balls to the wall. It was just similar to how he came out against Jorge Barrios. But this kid hung in there tough and he applied good pressure on him. And he was really making Guzman look old, and he was hitting him with a lot of jabs and hooks to the body, and he was really getting at Guzman. Now, he did floor him, and let me say one other thing. There was another missed knockdown that the ref really fucked up on. He hit Guzman with like a 3-punch combination that staggered him and made him do like a 2-step heel and toe type of dance move all the way to the other side of the ring. It was an obvious knockdown. I don't see how you could blow this shit, but you know, the ref missed it. I'm glad this kid won because the scorecards were real close and it shouldn't have really been a split decision type of verdict, because this kid really boxed his ass off of the plot pressure after those knockdowns. Now, don't get me wrong, Guzman came back and he won a couple rounds. You know, he started countering this kid's head off and was really hitting him with some hard, nasty shots, but he kept giving up too much ground and running around, and you just really had the sense that he was uncomfortable in that fight. So hopefully this kid gets some more big fights in the future. I think Danny Garcia knocks him out. I like to see him in there with some other names though, you know, because 140 is pretty stacked. You know, you could get some good fights out there. He might be a good fight for Amir Khan if Khan's comeback fight against Molina goes well. As far as Guzman, it's sad to say it, but I think he really kind of wasted a good 3 or 4 years of his career just being lazy and inactive. I know he had I think a death in his family at one point, but he kind of really just fucked off his career, and you know, all that bad karma and shit. As far as you remember the gift he received against Fanica, all that shit just basically coming back to Guzman right now. You know, that's how it is in life sometimes, especially in a hard sport like boxing. And I felt that he was the big underachiever in the sport. I believe he could have really did more and got bigger fights. To this day, you know, his biggest fight was, you know, Humberto Soto, who I thought he put a good performance on and beat, and that'll be that. You know, 2012 has really been just it's been a solid year of boxing, but you've been having a lot of guys really just, you know, get pushed over the cliff this year. Hatton, Cotto, and now Guzman. So it's like, wow. The concert after the fight was actually pretty good. DMX killed shit. Waka Flocka killed shit, did his thing. Fab did his thing. I could do without Fat Joe and Travis Porter, but you know, it was a good event. You know, I appreciate the whole thing. Shit was on point. So that's it. That's just my random thoughts on this fight. Stay tuned for more Swag Science.